Hi everybody, welcome back to Roundtable Talks. I'm David Saparis, and today we're here talking with Nicole Bouroukis. Yeah. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
Nicole, why, like many in this industry, I think a lot of people didn't choose real estate to enter right away, or the real estate industry. Why did you choose to get your real estate license and come into the real estate industry?
I think for me, like the big thing was that I've been in real estate technically. I bought my first house when I was 18 years old.
Nice.
And I think it just like naturally, I watched my dad buy properties. We ended up buying more properties together when I was in university. It just didn't seem like the right time for me to actually go into real estate. So I did the university and I did the teacher's college. I became a teacher. I did all the things that I was supposed to do and check all those boxes. But no matter what, like real estate was always behind me, and I was always doing something in real estate. And people were always coming to me. They were always like asking me, like, do you think this is a good idea? I would always have people calling me, like, this agent is representing both ends. What should we do? Do you think this house is worth buying? Can we renovate this house? So I've always been the person that goes in and gives people like design ideas, or, you know what, take this wall out or leave this wall.
So did you buy properties at a young age to flip or to hold as rentals?
So we did it as rentals to begin with. So it was while I was in university. I actually bought the house that I was gonna live in with other people. So we actually rented out the rooms like a normal university rental. And so we bought one, and then I ended up buying another one. And then by the time I was done university, we had 5. We've now sold them because we don't live there anymore, so it was a little bit more. But once the market went up, it actually worked out for all of us to.
So pretty much paid for your university.
Yeah, pretty much. And I didn't have to pay for rent during that time, and all I really had to do was manage the properties, which kind of manage themselves, because they were paying for me to live and they would pay my groceries too. But it just seemed natural, and it was, the market was just continuing to go up. And so the houses were easy to renovate and to transfer over to rental properties. And because I was going to school, people knew that I was an easy person to talk to about getting different rentals. So I was kind of advising people on rental properties before I
even had a license.
Right? I know that you're like, I was just like, oh, this is a good house, or this is, right? It was natural. Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, listen, I guess a lot of people go into the RRSPs to fund their education, and in your case, you decide to buy properties, which is great.
I was watching a video recently about how someone was saying, yes, buy your, invest in RSPs for your kids, for university, but the best thing you can do when your child's young is buy them a property.
No, I agree with you. You know, and not that I'm against RESPs. I do have them for my children, but when you're looking at real estate in general, the amount of money that you're putting down throughout the 18 years, plus, to me, buying real estate with that money as another option allows you to not only, you know, by the time your child goes to university, it's almost 18 years in, you have most of the property probably paid off. The rental is paying your schooling, and then at the end of that, it's not a depleting asset. It's appreciating, and you have something at the end of it. And so if it's doable, I think it's always a good option, which I did the same thing with my kids, right?
Well, that's our hope too, is that we can kind of get to that point where we have one for each of our daughters, and if they choose to sell it when they need to pay for a wedding or pay for university or whatever post-secondary, then they can do with it what they need to. But if it's paying for itself and they don't need the money, then that's a whole different ball game. But that's why coming to Union Capital was really important, because I think that the pre-construction aspect really was something that I wanted to know more about and wanted to learn more about. And then,
is that one of the main reasons why you chose Union Capital Realty?
I think that, and just the natural environment of coming here. I just felt like everyone was just so nice, and it was everyone kind of hustled too. Everyone was really working, and you go into a lot of brokerages, and not to say that wasn't the vibe, but I just felt that everyone was here to make money for their clients, make money for themselves, and just work. And that was something that I've always done. like I said, I managed the properties while I was in school. I worked while I was in school. I did those things. So I want to be around, surrounded by people who do that, but then also by learning and like continuing to learn about real estate for myself and for my clients was like really, really important. I think that was something, and I've learned a lot about pre-construction, and I've learned a lot about projects and about even just the building process with pre-construction, and so that's kind of just led me to do more in this field as well.
Yeah, and I guess it puts you in a better position to discuss certain projects and the process with your clients.
Yeah, well, because I've had clients that are looking at property to build on, or I've had like a current client that's just getting into the market. He's new and wants to buy pre-construction, and it's how do I even get started? And I'm like, well, we're learning together sort of thing. And everything that I've learned, I've just basically passed on to him, and he feels so much more confident because I'm not skipping over things because I learned them that way and I've needed to process them in a certain way. So if I can explain it the same way to him, the way that I've processed it, he feels more confident and knows that it's a good investment because it's something that I'm doing too. So.
Yeah. 2022 and was a good year for you, great year. And now we're into 2023. You do focus on listings to a certain degree. I won't say full focus. But what is your approach when listing a property, especially in this environment that we're experiencing right now?
So what I've done in the past is I've gone in and I've made it very easy for them. So I help them find, I have a stager that I work with, and we come in and we basically blitz the place and make it comfortable so that when someone comes in, they know what they're expecting. This is something I can live in. This is how the living room will look. But I also, when I'm meeting with people, I'm not telling them a number that is unrealistic. I think that this is what the market looks like. This is what you should expect. If you're willing to sell it this time, then let's wait, let's do it. Let's get ready, let's get going. But if it's not the number that they're looking for and they want to wait longer, then that's something that I'm going to provide to them. I'm going to wait with them. I'm going to provide them with examples of what's coming out, what's selling in the area, and just knowing the market and knowing that area specifically for them, knowing the community is really important. So I think that my experience just in the past year and this year, I really try to get all of the information about what people are looking for and what they need, and I provide that to them with like an honest opinion, and then I let them decide, and I just work with them.
Now, with that, I think in the last year or so, and a bit, there seems to be a lot of hesitation on the buyer's end as well as sellers on whether they should list or buy in this market. Again, you've done well in the last year. How are you approaching that with your clients or potential clients, the conversation that you're having, whether this is the right time to buy or sell?
I was watching something recently and it kind of stuck with me, and it was everyone has like their time that they're ready to buy or sell, but I think that the real estate market is not going anywhere. It never has. It's always like there's dips, there's ebbs and flows, but are you going to have a crystal ball that's going to tell you you sold at the best time or you bought at the worst time? No one really knows. Yes, there's lots of predictions that we can make, but I usually, when I meet with people, I'm providing them with as much information so that they make an educated decision, because if they're not educated, then they feel like they're making a guessing. They're really just guessing at whether they should be listing or not. And
I think when you get to that point of guessing, that's where I think hesitation comes in. And then there's no real action.
And that's when people often go to like friends or family who aren't real estate agents or don't have a brokerage that they have behind them to talk to. So a lot of the time what they're doing is they're going based off of random information that they don't have, or what they're seeing out there walking down the street, and they say, oh, sold over asking. Well, that could be a marketing tactic. We don't really know. So a lot of it has to do with giving them the information, giving them what I think the best opinion is, and giving them the best like marketing approach in the selling aspect, but also in the purchasing aspect is being available.
I think as much information as possible to give to your clients to make an informed decision is key. Moving forward for the remainder of 2023, What are you thinking?
I was talking about this recently with my husband about just like my own goals. I always set like 5, 10-year goals, and my 5-year goal was to make sure that I was an agent and doing well. But after our Christmas party, everyone was getting awards. My husband's like, they just lit a fire under you. I was like, oh yeah, they did. And so I think that my goal is to obviously make myself known in the community that I'm working in,
right.
But also continue with the being known for representing listings in a beautiful way, but also really dive deep into the pre-construction world. I have a lot of clients that are relying heavily on me right now to give them enough information and provide them with really good projects that are out there. But I am hoping to take some courses on like farmland and learning a little bit more because of where I'm located. There's a lot of farmland and development land that's going on. So I'm looking at taking a course and learning more about that just so that I can market it to my clients a little bit better. But really just get some houses for my clients and make deals. Everyone some money.
That's it. Well, Nicole, I really want to thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
It's been great.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best this year, and I know you're going to do well.
Yeah.
And I believe that you'll be standing on the podium with an award at the end of the year.
I better.
So again, I want to thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks everybody for joining us today at the Roundtable. Make sure to like this video and hit subscribe. Until next time, enjoy.